Jump up. What are you doing? Just... What? What? Can you go down there, please? No. Can you go down? No. What an attention seeker. No. She knows what I'm doing. She knows what's going on. Anyway, guys, okay, so I literally just came back from Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and let's just say I have some strong opinions and thoughts about the movie, but first I'm gonna open it up with saying, it's an okay movie. The action is fun. It's got some very funny scenes. The movie has not lost its levity. It hasn't lost its humor. Everything that makes it a fun action movie, it has not lost. This is a great... I wouldn't say great movie. It's just an okay movie. And what it does succeeds in exponentially is that it's a fun movie. It is a fun movie. And if... I want to say that if you were to watch this without watching the first one, you'd probably enjoy it. And that is true, you would. But the thing is, things that happen in this, you would have to know about by watching the first one. So, I'm not going to say that. But if this movie were its own thing, it would be an okay movie. It'd be a pretty good fun action movie. But the thing is, because it's a sequel, that's where my strong opinions and thoughts come into it. Now, please do not misunderstand what I'm about to say. Okay, what I'm about to say may be long, may take up most of the review, but it's valid. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't watched anyone else's reviews before recording this, okay? This is my own pure opinion. But I think this movie suffers from, I think what movie buffs call sequel-itis, which is bigger, better, more. And, I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this while also putting it on the internet. This is one of my most disappointing, for me, it's one of my most disappointing movies of the year. Not only movies, but most disappointing, either TV shows or movies. I'll mention the TV show a little later. But why is because, as I said, it suffers. I don't know why I keep saying suffers. It suffers from the idea that if you're going to make a sequel to the first movie of whatever it is, you have to have more action. You have to have more humor. You have to have more, bigger. And that... Why... I thought we were over this. Because you had movies like The Dark Knight, Terminator 2, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So many current movies, T2 not one of them, but so many current movies. Movies that have come out, I would say, movies that have come out in the recent years of the 21st century. Yeah, 21st century. I got that right. Okay, so the current movies that have come out in the 21st century have not tried to be bigger, like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or The Dark Knight. Those are just examples. Or Captain America the Winter Soldier. What they have done is they made their movies... The story was bigger. I guess. But what they did is they made it more personal or whatever, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. The problems that I had with this movie is that, one, too many deaths. Right? The first one only had really, in all honesty, two major deaths, right? And I'm talking about the major characters, the characters that aren't the protagonist, because the protagonist is Eggsy, but the characters that are, simply put, on the good side, the good guys. Only two really pivotal characters in the first one died, right? And so many more die in this because sequelitis. That's why. More deaths. That's what my first problem with it. Also, more action. More action really isn't going to ensure the film's success, either financially or story-wise. So too many deaths, too much action, and this last one is a little bit more complicated. Okay, so in my review for the first Kingsman, I said that the reason why that movie works so well script-wise, with its characters and the story, okay? The story was far-fetched, as is said by, I think his name is Colin Firth. But anyway, the guy who plays Harry, I always get confused between Colin Firth and Colin Farrell, because both Colin F. So that's just my excuse for that. If I use the wrong last name, that's why, okay? So, Colin Firth's character, Harry, said it that basically they were self-referencing the movie that they were in themselves. They were self-referencing their own movie that they were in. A far-fetched plot, right? Their movie had a far-fetched plot, but its characters were not far-fetched. The villain was far-fetched along with his plan, hence the plot of the movie, but the protagonists of the movie, and I'm pretty sure you can have more than one, but there's only one main protagonist. So the one main protagonist and all the rest of the protagonists were what grounded us there. We could relate to them, right? As I said, we could relate to Eggsy. He was what grounded us into that movie. Things that the shit that he was going through was real life shit. And then he's thrown into this over-the-top bad guy versus good guy scenario. And we relate to him because of he was himself a grounded character. In this, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I just need to see the movie a second time, but I just personally didn't feel as though the characters were not grounded anymore. I'm okay with the far-fetched plot, alright? But I just didn't feel like our protagonists, plural, all of the protagonists, including the main one, were not grounded enough for us to relate to them, therefore enjoy the movie, I guess. And also, one fourth thing is that certain things in this movie are not necessary. One big thing is the return of one of the characters who died in the first one. If you haven't seen the second trailer, I'm not going to say anything. I don't know if it's the second or third trailer, but if you haven't seen it, a certain someone comes back, right? If you haven't seen the trailer, don't. Just watch the movie. I'm not going to say who it is. But this person comes back. It ruins the first one, and not the whole first movie. It just the character who died in the first one was a very heavy scene, because he was a main character, right? That we got to know, we got to learn about him, we got to understand him, stuff like that, and then he's gone. But they bring him back in this one, which completely destroys the whole drama of that scene in that first movie. This movie just did not need his return, alright? And also, as I was saying earlier about not relating to the protagonists in this movie, another thing that wasn't needed, but I felt like the company was saying, well, like the company or the writers were saying, well, there's not that much to ground the characters anymore, so let's do this. Relationship problems. I'm not going to say who it is that's having these relationship problems, right? I'm trying to be as I'm trying not to spoil it as much as I can. But these relationship problems that these characters go through, I felt like it was the only thing that we as an audience could relate to. It was the only thing grounding them. But unfortunately, it's the only thing. It's one of the two things that I personally didn't need in the movie. So it's kind of a contradiction. I get that, but yeah, it's an okay movie. But those are just my problems with it, and that's really it. Certain things in the movie were not needed, but because it was more action, more over-the-top sequences, more deaths, I just think it was all a bit unnecessary. I think it could have been done better if certain characters didn't die, if certain characters didn't return, if that's pretty much it. If they just changed the movie a little bit, certain things that I couldn't like about the movie, the certain things that I didn't like about the movie, if they were just either taken out, like the return of a certain character, or changed, like the amount of people that die, the amount of protagonists that die in this movie, because there's so many good guys who are pivotal characters die in this movie, and it's unnecessary. Anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. But as far as it being a movie in of itself, it's a fun movie, right? It's a fun movie with fun action, and a lot of great laughs, as well. And I will say that Julianne Moore's character, and certain, I'm just gonna say this: her character was fine. I think I mean, she's a far-fetched villain like the one in the first one, so no real complaints there. All right, because an over-the-top villain, it's over the top. So if you're thinking in your head, well, I really don't like her performance, acting doesn't matter in concerning that, because they're over the top for a reason, right? It's an over the top, far-fetched spy espionage movie. So what are you gonna expect? But it's just certain things that were not good for a sequel to a good spy espionage movie. This isn't a good movie, okay? It's not bad. I know it might come across that way because of what I'm saying and how passionately I'm saying it. But honestly, watch it in your own time. Watch it by yourself or whatever. Just go to the theater and get your own opinion, alright? But yeah, I'm just a little disappointed. And also, if you're wondering what the TV show that I mentioned before that was as disappointing as this movie, it's The Defenders. I'll get into that next year. Won't tell you what I'm doing, but you probably can guess anyway. Like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later.